Welcome to the intersection of leadership and data, transforming today's HIM challenges into tomorrow's health system successes, where diversity, equity, and inclusion are the focus. Today's session learning objectives: we will define the need for leading stakeholders in a health system that is focused on preventative, personalized, predictive, and participatory medicine. We will evaluate a health system problem case for leadership, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and we will apply leadership and analytics best practices for change management within health systems. So when we talk about intersecting data with leadership, what do we mean? We have these different domains. We have the data domain, where we want to be data-driven. We want to be aware of bias in collecting and storing data. And we want to be inclusive with our data sets, whether it's the data sets we use, who the data sets are about. And then we have process. We want to be stakeholder-centric and be inclusive of diverse stakeholders. The people that we talk about as part of intersecting data with leadership. We all need to be vulnerable, and we need to be aware that data about people belongs to the people. And then we bring this together with leadership, where we want to be transformational and we want to be a promoter for those less visible. And until we have these pieces in place, we shouldn't even start to think about technology. If we look at the quote from Dr. Brené Brown, to be alive is to be vulnerable. To be a leader is to be vulnerable every minute of the day. Today, you are the transformational leader. We will review a health system case study vignette. If you are in the live session today, we will work in small groups to create a vision statement and goals. If you are viewing a recording, I recommend that you come up with your own vision statement and then share that vision statement on the Canvas discussion board. During today's live presentation, you will present the transformational plan from your small group back to the larger group for feedback, and then you will walk away with an actionable plan to lead with a vision and transform your function for future success. If we look at our case study vignette, Happy Haven Health System in New Edge City. This name and location has been de-identified. Happy Haven Health System is an academic medical center with low employee morale and high clinician burnout. There is a high volume of learner mistreatment due to racial, religious, ethnic, gender, and sexual orientation bias. There are social media reviews of bullying and toxic work environments. There's a frequent and high volume of executive leadership turnover. There is an inability to attract health information and technology talent from outside the local area. There are quality issues with process and workflow. There is a constant backlog of system fixes. There is poor or non-existent master data management. There are competing priorities, silos, and unwilling attitudes for collaboration. And there is a fear of change, and there are job insecurities. In your small groups, after you read this case, discuss the following. Why focus on preventative, personalized, predictive, and participatory medicine? Where does health information management and technology fit in? And how can Happy Haven focus on these areas? How can leadership bring about positive change for diversity, equity, and inclusion? For all stakeholders, and this includes employees, patients, learners, trainees, research participants, vendors, people who visit, caretakers, family, and the community. Then you will develop a vision statement and 3 goals for Happy Haven. The vision statement and goals should include diversity, equity, and inclusion for all stakeholders, leadership best practices for change management, health information, technology, and data analytics. If you are part of the live presentation today, we will have rapid-fire presentations from the small groups. There will also be a live poll for feedback from text or Twitter from the audience on the next slide. The poll will ask for one-word feedback on the strongest message and create a word cloud. If you are in the recorded session, please add your comments onto the Canvas discussion board. In one word, tell the other folks the strongest message that you hear from their vision and goals. Please note that this poll will not work in the recorded version. To recap, intersecting data with leadership. We have data, which involves wrangling that data, getting it from different places, making sure that you profile and explore that data, cleaning it up, taking a look at any inaccuracies or anything that just looks either interesting or unusual. How data is used in analytics and statistics, the metadata, the data about the data, and how this data is being used in artificial intelligence and machine learning. We have process. We have people, and people have voices. There's bravery. There are introverts. So when you talk about involving people for stakeholders, not everybody will speak up in a meeting, like in a steering committee or governance committee. Make sure there are different forums and opportunities for people to speak up. And also think about any disabilities involved and how you can make your committees more inclusive. As leaders, be sure that not only you speak up for what's right, but give opportunities for other people to speak up. Reward change, even if that change includes or ends up in failure. Make sure there's psychological safety within your forums. Always listen and always learn. Be data-driven, be aware of the bias in collecting data, and be inclusive in data sets. Be stakeholder-centric and be inclusive of your diverse stakeholders. Be transformational, be an advocate, and be a promoter for those less visible. And be vulnerable and be aware that data about people belong to people. This is how we intersect data with leadership. Thank you for attending today.